This is the Jack Murphy Podcast. Here's your host, Jack Murphy.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen, the world-famous John Garrett. And now, John, I understand you were out yesterday due to some electrical problems at your home.
I wasn't out. I just wasn't able to podcast. I accidentally broke a 120-volt socket in my kitchen where you plug stuff in.
Yeah.
I was pulling a table out, and there was a cord in it, and I didn't see it, and it broke it. Now, I'm scared that this thing is a live wire, and it's going to burn the house down. All this stuff's going through my head, so I had to call an electrician out and handle it because I don't mess with electricity.
I don't either. I don't like, electricity's confusing. You have volts and you have amps. And they say it's not the volts that kills you, it's the amps. And then the other thing, if you're working with like a battery or whatever, you got a red wire, that's the hot wire, and you got a black wire. But in your house, you got the white wire, the black wire, the neutral wire, the ground. It's too confusing.
Yeah, many years ago, I took shop class in 8th grade, and I know how to, wire up a lamp and all that. Mr. Mack was a great shop teacher.
And you still remember that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he taught me how to lathe. He taught me how to weld. He taught me how to do electricity. But I put a pull motor in 22 years ago, and I did it from memory because it was just 3 wires, like you said, 3 wires. But you got to know.
But that pool thing, was that a 220?
It was 120. It was just a Polaris motor.
A lot of times those pool things are 220. That's really dangerous.
Well, I remember crouching behind a bush. It was July. Chiggers all over me. I screwed that thing in, and I was like, okay, honey, turn it on. Turn it on, and it was like...
Which wife was that when you said, hey, honey, turn it on? Was that 1, 2, or 3?
That was my second wife, but it was the third time I was married because I married her twice, like a dumbass.
You went back for seconds, huh?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
You prefer the dark meat as well?
I have always preferred dark meat, but if things don't work out this Thanksgiving, I think I'm going to switch and start going after the white meat exclusively. And I mean that sincerely.
By the way, if you want to chime in,
pour a little gravy on it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, you
got enough
have to be
gravy.
able to work with it. You just got to be, I think I can work with the white meat. I do. You can trust the white meat.
You gotta respect the grift of this new mayor in New York City, Mondami. He's just he came right out with the grift right from the get-go. I don't know if you saw it yesterday, but they had a press conference and he was out with his transition team. It's an all-female.
You mean like guys who dress up in dresses and they want to be women?
Some of them look like they could have been guys, but these were all women. And they're the women that are going to be in charge of the transition from one administration to the other. And they got up in front of the microphone, and I instantly thought this is going to be a huge disaster because they were not very good at communicating what they were going to do. And
as women are often not.
Apparently, he had such a huge lead in the polls going into the election that I've never heard of a politician doing this. He actually told people to stop sending money in, John. Can you believe that?
Why did he do that?
I guess because he had such a lead and he thought it would be a great gesture to do, but that's over with now.
Oh, and one more thing. Remember how I told you a few months ago to stop sending us money?
Right.
You can start again.
Oh.
This transition requires staff, research, and an infrastructure that can meet this moment. Mm-hmm. And it will be made possible by the people who built and believe in this movement.
So he wants the money now.
I saw a meme yesterday, and it had a picture of the World Trade Center, and it said, New York, you forgot.
Yeah, I saw several that are funny. I saw one where the cops are riding on camels, and I saw one where it said, Mondami moves mayor's office to basement of New York hospital. Like Hamas does in Gaza. They put all the terrorists in the hospital.
What the hell happened? Listen, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. It's not that I'm prejudiced against Muslims. I judge Muslims. It's not prejudging. I judge them at this point.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's been 24 years. There are people out there with children who were not alive when 9/11 happened.
Exactly.
It's
They
like
don't-
it's
they
like
don't
when I hear
remember.
about it's like when I hear about the Korean War. It's like something that happened before I was born, and you really can't blame people for not caring. But the older people should care.
But it's funny you say that. I think attitudes are different. Like I was a kid during the best part of the Vietnam War, and I remember it vividly. And I never forgot the Vietnam War and all those guys that died. And I was real lucky. The draft ended when I was in the 10th grade. They were still
just missed
drafting
it.
people. Yeah, I missed it. It was crazy. Like the drinking age was 21, and they lowered it to 18. And then when I turned 18, they raised it back to 21. But if you were already grandfathered, I missed the draft. I got the bonus on the drinking age, all that. But I never forgot the Vietnam War, and I remember the people protesting. It would make me so mad. But I think a lot of this is attitude. Like I read a survey today, 63% of young adults ages 18 to 34 and 53% of parents have considered leaving the USA because of the state of the nation.
I heard that, and let me tell you my thoughts on that. Would you like my thoughts on that?
I would love to hear what you think.
Where the hell are you going to go? Chad?
Exactly.
Zimbabwe? You going to go one of these Sudan? Are you going to go live in
Europe?
You go Croatia?
I mean, Croatia's actually a nice spot, but anyway.
That's where my people are from, so I had my family fled Croatia back when it was Yugoslavia. I'm just saying, where are you going to go? Iceland? What's better than America?
That's
there's
exactly
nothing better
what
than
I
America.
thought. We're on the same page. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? And if you think it's bad here, wait till you get to some of these other places where they really have problems.
Patrick Bet-David, the PBD podcast?
Yes.
I saw a clip of him talking to some a group of young liberal women with nose rings and hair and blue hair.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all like, we want to get out of America. And he was like, okay, I'll tell you what. I'll give you $20,000 to pack your bags and pay for your first couple of months. You pick the country. Where do you want to go? And they couldn't give him an answer.
Right. Speaking of nose rings, I played this yesterday, but I want you to see it because I know you'll love it.
Quick question for the men, specifically straight men. How come a majority of straight men I know that I've interacted with hate septum piercings? What's that about? What's the vibe? Because consistently since getting my septum done, not to say all straight men, a lot of straight men hate the septum piercing. So curious. Genuinely, this is for science, not for judgment.
Yeah,
Safe space.
It's because you're a whore. And
I'll give you the reason.
Guys don't like whores. That's why.
I'll give you well, we like whores in their place. Here's my reasoning. I'll give you my answer. It's not because it makes you look ugly, lady. It's because of what it represents. You're a headache. You're wrong. You're mouthy. You're lippy. You don't know when to listen to other people's opinions, and you're wrong, and you're dumb.
Yeah, my comment about her was I don't like her. I don't like her vibe, which is what she said.
She gives me the ick, Jack.
She's got high maintenance written all over her.
And argumentative.
Yes.
Oh, just no thanks.
You couldn't do anything without getting an argument. You imagine being in the car with her for a few hours?
Oh,
just kill me now.
You'd have to always talk about pro-choice and pro-life, whether that's the only thing she cares about because she's a whore.
Constantly going Trump, can you imagine?
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. It would be terrible.
Oh, God. I want to vote for AOC. Go to this AOC rally with me. No, honey, you go ahead.
By the way, speaking of shoot me now, did you see the Dallas Cowboy football player killed himself, 24 years old? He apparently had been involved in a police chase or something, committed suicide. And then Antonio Brown, who played with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay, the really good wide receiver, he's just been extradited from Dubai on a attempted murder charge.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. What's the story on that?
I don't know. I didn't care. I mean, I just saw it, and I didn't care enough to read the actual story. Just
the Marshawn story out of Dallas. Was he 24 years old?
24 years old, right?
And I mean, he probably was into some shady stuff if he was running from the police, but that ain't no reason to end it all.
Exactly.
Took that extra step before he went into the air. gather with the ball.
Watch that. That's just one dribble right there.
Right here. How many steps? Gather.
Whoa.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
We often talk about the European Union, and we talk about the UK and the fact that people in the UK and the European Union, they've lost all their civil rights. You can't say anything on social media without fear of going to jail. I mean, if you say something mean, if you tweet something mean or call somebody a name, they'll come and arrest you and put you in jail in England.
It's like the government's run by chicks.
Yeah, and it's just ultra super left-wing liberal. Well, a lot of people don't know this about the BBC, the British Broadcasting Company. It is state-owned. So the television, the radio, it's all, not all of it. There are some independents, but the BBC is owned by the government.
Is that the equivalent of an NPR?
Yes, our public broadcasting system. And they tax the people to provide it. You don't have a choice. There's a BBC tax that the British public pays. Well, it's supposed to be a totally right down the middle news service, right? Now, I actually like a lot of, I don't know about you, but I like a lot of the comedies that the BBC's made over the years. Of course, we don't have any of the good ones anymore. Remember Benny, what was the guy?
Benny Hill? Benny Hill.
Yeah, Benny Hill. I loved him. But they've had some pretty funny sitcom. But I want you to listen to this. This news person was doing a story, and instead of saying pregnant women on the teleprompter, it said pregnant people. And she wasn't having it, and she got suspended for doing this. Watch this.
London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine has released research which says that nearly 600 heat-related deaths are expected in the UK.
Right.
Malcolm Mystery, who is involved in the research, says that the aged, pregnant people, women, and those with pre-existing health conditions need to take precautions.
She got suspended for the inappropriate eye roll. Inappropriate
it's
eye
like
roll.
living with a woman. That's what happens. Everything you do can be however they perceive
Interpret it. Yeah, exactly. So
that's like several program directors I've worked for over the years. They'd say, so-and-so, this lady called, didn't like what you said. What did I say? She didn't like it. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do about that? I can't help how people perceive what I say.
Yeah. I always, what I would do? I always say this, and they really hated this. They would say, hey, somebody called and complained about what you said this morning. I said, good. And they, what do you mean good? And I said, well, they're listening.
Yeah.
And they're listening well enough that they actually want to call you and complain about something.
Got it. My old general manager could go work for the BBC. He actually told me, this was just a few years back.
Yeah.
He said, you have to please everyone all the time. And I thought he was kidding. He said, you have to please everybody all the time.
No, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I said that Carly Pierce, the country singer, had just gotten divorced. I said, now who's going to want her? She's damaged goods. Obviously, it was just a joke. She's a beautiful singer. She's a wonderful woman.
Right.
She heard it. She was driving to the beach and heard me say it.
Shut up.
Called Clay Honeycutt of whatever record company. iHeart. He works at a record company now. Anyway, he called the GM and the PD, and I got bitched at. This was in 2020. This was a few years ago.
I just lost all respect for Clay Honeycutt.
Yeah, well, I lost a lot of respect for him years ago.
That's what's wrong with radio today, folks. That's why they don't have any personalities anymore. That's why nobody cares about radio anymore.
So the same thing. So basically, the BBC is run like your local radio station.
Yeah. It's like some 2-bit program directors running the BBC.
And you and I know a thing or two about 2-bit.
It's like Jan Jeffries is running the BBC.
It's like Jeff McHugh is in charge of the BBC.
They'll be reading horoscopes on the BBC before
at
you know.
7:05. Then they're going to do like Beat the Toaster at 7:20 between the news and the sports block.
I heard AI is going to take everybody's jobs, but I ain't seen any AIs out there stealing catalytic converters yet.
Big news. Have you heard about the Chinese astronauts?
No, what?
Well, Gail King, be glad you're not a Chinese astronaut. A team of astronauts is currently stranded at the Chinese space station after their return capsule was struck by space debris.
Sure.
So you don't even believe they're up there, do you?
If your space vehicle was hit by a piece of space debris,
right,
they are allegedly traveling at 17,000 miles an hour.
That's
so
why
if
it doesn't work anymore.
If a nut or a bolt
right,
or a pin top traveling at that speed in space comes into contact with your spaceship, you are going to be in a million pieces. You're going to be dust. It's not like a
you
hole.
Wouldn't think. You don't think it would just punch a hole right through it?
Not
like
at that speed.
Like a bullet would?
No, 17,000 miles an hour. Two vehicles.
I don't know. You're not a physicist, John. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know. You believe everything you hear about
you
NASA.
You could be exactly right. I don't know what would
I use
happen.
common sense. You got to use common sense, Jack.
I'm just reading the story that the 3 guys are stranded on the space station. So
Good.
I don't think they're coming home.
Good. We got too many Chinese people on this planet anyway.
Space debris, by the way, an increasingly big problem in low Earth orbit, particularly because of Elon Musk, who, have you heard about his new deal?
$1 trillion deal?
Is that a cat behind you or one of your puppies?
That's my doggy. Doesn't look like a
shadow. I saw a shadow on the wall. I just saw the tail. Elon Musk, after a couple of weeks of negotiation with the board of Tesla, he just got a new deal from the board of Tesla. They approved it. Over the next decade, if he gets the stock of Tesla to a certain point, they're going to give him $1 trillion worth of stock.
But, aren't you seeing the same stories I'm seeing about how the EV market is dead? Nobody's buying these Teslas. They're having to drop the price.
That's not where the future of Tesla is. The future of Tesla is robots.
I see.
And the satellites. And the autonomous cars. The way it's going to work, this is the way it's been explained to me, and I've read a little bit about it. There's a company already operating in the United States called Waymo, and they're autonomous taxis. They're in San Francisco and a few other cities now. Tesla's going to have the same thing. So you buy a Tesla, it's totally, my cousin has one. Did I tell you about riding in it?
No. He
bought one, and he said, man, you got to drive this thing. So I went, first of all, it's the fastest, most powerful car I've ever been in my life. I mean, you hit the gas, and it's instant, just wham, against the seat.
Which Tesla model? They only have a few.
He got the one that has the gull wing doors.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I mean, just it goes like 0 to 60 in like 2.9 seconds or something crazy. I mean, just throws you against the seat. Unbelievable power. But then it has a button, and he goes, take your hands off the wheel. And it's not even a wheel. It's like this.
It's like the Knight Rider steering wheel.
Yeah. So, and you push a button, and you don't touch anything. And it goes the speed limit. It puts on the blinkers. It does everything.
Don't you have to keep touching the steering wheel?
No, because it's monitoring you. There's cameras inside the car. And if you start doing something you shouldn't be doing and not paying attention, it will.
What do you mean by that?
Well, like for anything, like if you were on your phone watching a movie or whatever, you're supposed to be aware of what's going on to keep an eye on it. But it will set off an alarm and alert you that it's about to turn itself off.
I got a question.
But wait, let me finish telling you. So the future of Tesla is that, and what will happen is you'll have an app, for Lyft or whatever service you're using. You punch it in, the car will just come to your house with nobody driving it, and you'll get in it. And your app's already told the car where to go. You'll get in, it'll take you to your location and charge your credit card. Or if you own a Tesla, here's the other thing. While you're at work, you can rent out your car. People, you can turn on your autonomous car mode, and people will call your car to come and get them and take places, and your car will come back to wherever you are.
So that means there's somebody always watching you while you're driving.
Yeah, exactly. There's some.
So if you want to sing along with a song, if you want to talk to yourself, if you want to Pick your
Those
nose.
will be the videos we'll be playing in the future on the podcast. It'll be people doing things in their car. That
What
Tesla
about people
recorded.
who do things in their car? And I'm not talking about me, but I'm talking about people who do things in their car when they're alone.
I know what you're talking about. Somebody just got arrested yesterday for going 90 miles an hour having sex on the Autobahn in Germany.
I've never done that.
The next train will be approaching soon. Could the customer with the juicy melons please stand away from the yellow line? That's the customer with the juicy melons. Please stand away from the yellow line, sir. Thank you very much.
John, we were talking about people leaving the country. Anxiety has doubled. Do you feel like your anxiety has doubled?
No. Ever since I lost my full-time gig last year, my money's gone down, but my stress level is at, if my stress level used to be at a 9, and there was a time and it was, my stress level now is a 1.
Yeah, I feel the same way. By the way, we're talking about Waymo. So in San Francisco, they've got a really bad problem. This Waymo, this cat here, he was the unofficial mayor of San Francisco, and a Waymo automated taxi ran over and killed him.
And that kitty cat's that kitty cat's famous.
He's
They've done
very
stories
famous
about that cat.
He's very, very famous. He's called Kit Kat, and he's the mayor of 16th Street. A beloved neighborhood cat was struck and killed by Waymo in the Mission District last week, and it's really created a huge uproar against Waymo there in San Francisco because it seems like every time they crank these things up, something goes wrong. They didn't get a GPS update, and they go down a road that's not there, or
I don't know that the technology's ready for this to be picking up people and driving them to their destination.
It's not, or they'd be doing it, but it will be very quickly with AI. I mean, it's going to be no time. There will come a point in time where I think they won't let you drive anymore.
I'm for that, and I'll tell you what, I don't like to drive anyway. There's too many crazy people, and I don't mean to sound like a boomer, but I'm not skilled enough to handle and deal with people weaving in and out, and road rage is at an all-time high now. I don't want any part of that. I'm not comfortable on the highway.
I had to drive into Charlotte at night a couple of nights ago, and I hated it. It was terrible. I had to go downtown. It was awful. You know, there's 3 lanes. They're all one-way streets, right? And there's 3 lanes, and for some reason, there was a big concert that night, and these people in these, I guess they're executive lift cars, like, big black Suburbans, they just park in the right lane or the left lane. And they just stop and turn on their flashers. Like, that's cool to block a whole lane. They effectively made one lane street instead of 3. It drove me crazy.
Yeah, I just don't like being out on the road. I don't like the fact that somebody else can be texting and hit me, and then they'll get like 1 year in probation, yet I'll be dead or paralyzed. I don't.
Let me tell you, I almost threw a giant bag of dog poop at a car yesterday. I was walking in the neighborhood, which I don't do very often, but I did yesterday. We have a trail, and there's a traffic circle. Now, first of all, people in North Carolina don't know how to operate the traffic circle yet. They get very confused. They're either going 100
the roundabout.
Yeah, they're either going 100 miles an hour, and only one group of cars is getting out. There's no give and take, or they stop instead of yield when they get up there. They think you have to stop and look when you're supposed to look before you get there, and if nothing's coming, you go. But anyway, there's a pedestrian crosswalk at all 4 exits of the roundabout. And I've got 3 dogs on a leash, and I step out in the street, and this car doesn't even slow down. And the window's down. I went, hey! I had a bag of, I almost threw it at the car. I got so mad, John.
If he hadn't driven off so far and you didn't throw like a girl, you would have thrown that bag of poop.
I would have, but I'm not manly enough to do it. I was afraid he might stop and get out.
That's true. Are your dogs the kind of dogs that'll save you if somebody comes after you?
My big black dog, Murph, he might go after you. He's gone after some people in the past. He might.
I like to think that my big boy will protect me, but he's also the one that's scared of the little dogs in the house, so I don't know how it's going to work out.
I know the feeling.
Maybe his instincts will kick in or save his daddy.
I told Nancy Pelosi she was drawing her eyebrows too high. She looked surprised.
Well.
We see now on the news all the time these stories about the United States military taking out these drug boats in the Caribbean.
What do you think about that?
I'm perfectly okay with it. I mean, it's obvious. They know what they are. They're loaded with fentanyl and cocaine.
But do they know? What if it's just a family out on a night cruise?
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Have you seen the pictures of these boats? They have 5 engines on the back, and they sit about this far above the water, and everything's wrapped up in plastic, and there's 5 guys laying down, and they're going 70 miles an hour.
Some families are just peculiar like that.
Thrill seeker families. But
I
don't have any problem with it. But one of the reasons I don't have any problem with it is because of stories like this. Day before yesterday, there's a little town. I've actually been there once. It's called Granite Falls, North Carolina. There's a little lake up there, but it's out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, boonies. But it's absolutely beautiful up there. The sheriff's department up there had been investigating. They've been doing a meth investigation, right? So they raid this place. Now, if I told you that they're going to raid this place, what kind of place would you expect it to be?
An old trailer out in the woods that's half rusted.
You nailed it. Take a look at this. This is the trailer.
Look at me. I did. I nailed it.
That's the trailer. But here's the shocking thing: is how much the amount of drugs they had there.
That lady is 21 years old.
Yeah. Listen to this. They had 500 pounds of meth that they made in that trailer. Look at that.
You think they could buy better facilities?
That's some of it. They had 500 pounds of meth. They had 2.8 pounds of fentanyl, which they say is enough to kill everybody in Charlotte. They had 10 pounds of cocaine. They had over $100,000, and there were a bunch of guns. And they made, I think, 5 arrests. It was like a gigantic. And so they were all, if you look at the pictures, they were all white rednecks except for one Hispanic guy. I'm guessing he was the cartel guy.
That's why we got to get rid of all these white people. They're causing too much trouble.
But 2.8 pounds of fentanyl, you know how much that is?
No, but I watch a lot of body cam videos, so I see how they'll catch these people transporting it. I couldn't do it. I'd be a nervous wreck the entire time. If somebody offered, a friend of mine did this many years ago. He drove 50 pounds of marijuana from Montgomery to Panama City, and they gave him $5,000 to do it. And he said he put his glasses on, put his seatbelt on. He had a Bible, and he put it in the passenger seat. He had a suit on, and he was driving.
He's going to go to hell for that,
I know. He drove both hands on the wheel all the way down to Mobile, was a nervous wreck the entire time, got his $5,000, and
wait
he
a
said
minute.
it was...
If he was supposed to take it to Panama City, and he went to Mobile, and he still got paid?
I think it was Panama, whatever it was. He had to go down and make a delivery.
And who was he doing this for? The cartel?
Some guy who not just a small time guy, and so $5,000 to transport 50 pounds, and he said he did it a couple times, but the stress was too much for him.
Yeah,
he'd have done 30 years.
It takes a special kind of person to do that.
I couldn't do it. I'd be a nervous wreck the entire time.
Me too. I couldn't do it. I mean, there's people, you see these guys on YouTube all the time. There's this one guy in particular who was Barry Seal's buddy. You know that movie that Tom Cruise played the part of Barry Seal, the pilot. The CIA hired him in Arkansas, and he was flying drugs, but he was also working for the CIA. Well, his partner in that got busted and went to prison for like 20 years, and he's out now, and he does all these interviews and TV shows. He's got some incredible stories about him and Barry Seal.
I just don't have the constitution for that. I would rather be poor on the outside than try to be rich and then end up on the inside. I'm not a kind of guy that would last long on the inside, Merv.
Always remember to leave room for the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Swell job, Sarah and Kenneth. Hey now, Carl and Sally, that's too close. Off to damnation with you.
And that's where the power went out. I've been sitting here at the house with no power for 3 hours. It just went out right in the middle of the podcast. So John had to leave. He's got more electrical problems or something in his house. But We're right in the middle of a story, but John's gone now, so I'll move on. So I hate it whenever I see celebrity couples break up because I always say, you know, if two people that beautiful can't make it work, what hope do you have? It looks as though Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton are reportedly living separate lives these days, and a lot of their friends think that, quote, the magic has worn off. When's the last time you saw them together? According to the Star tabloid, it was months ago. So-called source says, quote, a lot of people think that it's over. Gwen is heading to Vegas for a residency at the Sphere, with no doubt, and Blake spends most of his time on the ranch in Oklahoma. You go, Blake. That's what I'd like to do, spend all my time on a ranch somewhere. You know, Blake and Gwen met on The Voice about a decade ago. They got married in 2021. That's about right for a celebrity. In fact, that's kind of a long celebrity marriage, 4 years. Like a lot of times when these celebrity couples get together, we'll do a guess. Do you think it will last? And I always say no. And then we do the over-under on how long it will last. And 5 years is usually that's on the high side. Usually it's 2 years or under. But I hate to see it. Now, they haven't had any kids together, have they? And I think she already had some kids. I don't know. Anyway, that's sad. One other piece of bull crap showbiz news for you today. Journey has just announced that they're doing their final Frontier tour. They're going to do 60 shows starting in February in Hershey, PA, and wrap it up July 2nd in Laredo, Texas. Neil Sean calls it, quote, our heartfelt thank you to the fans who've been with us every step of the way. Jonathan Cain, formerly the Babies, by the way, says, quote, it's a last chance to feel that magic together. I think the big lie, how many times these bands, they just don't know when to quit. How many times have the Eagles retired and done a farewell tour? 3? And they're still playing now. They're playing the Sphere, like Gwen Stefani. It seems like Billy Joel and Elton John have both done a goodbye tour. And then they come back. Goodbye, hello. Goodbye, hello. Very few of them can stay away. So I would be surprised if we don't see Journey again at some point somewhere.
Check your panties. About 175,000 rice. I think that was supposed to be pantries.
I couldn't warn you before I saw it, and I couldn't warn you, Eric. I'm so
So I got a lot of Facebook messages, Instagram messages. People want to make sure. I will be posting my world-famous stuffing recipe. I might even do a video of myself making it. Do that for a podcast episode. But there's a story out today about, with Thanksgiving around the corner, my daughter sent me my to-do list for Thanksgiving. I've got to make the stuffing. But other than that, I'm not, this year I don't have to do the turkey. I normally make bread. I wasn't asked to do that. I don't know if my bread hasn't been up to par. I make yeast rolls and sourdough bread. It looks delicious. I love it. But since I taught my daughter how to make yeast rolls and sourdough bread, I don't even get asked to do it anymore, which is fine. I enjoy not having to do the work. But here are the top 5 sides for Thanksgiving, according to a recent survey. Stuffing, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, mac and cheese, and green bean casserole. Not a fan of the green bean casserole. I like green beans, but not in a casserole format. Sweet potatoes, I'm not big on. I love the mashed potatoes. And I'm not a big mac and cheese person. I know many of you are. Don't judge me because I'm not a mac and cheese guy, but I don't care for it. But the green bean casserole is celebrating a 70th anniversary this year, so probably see a lot more of them this year than you have in the past. All right, well, listen, we're out of time. Sorry about losing John in the second half of the podcast, but as I said, the power went out. I don't know what happened. I started hearing fire trucks and ambulances. There must have been a wreck. Hopefully no plane crash because I'm close to the Charlotte airport. But have a great weekend. Thanks for checking out the Jack Murphy podcast. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that right now. Click the like button, and we'll be back Monday with a brand new episode.
Thanks for watching the Jack Murphy Podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Go ahead, ring it. Get alerts when a new episode drops, and tell your friends about the Jack Murphy Podcast. But only the cool friends, please. Tune in next time for another episode of the Jack Murphy Podcast.